Former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Big Ben Roethlisberger has questions for Mike Tomlin and his Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and also gives his advice on how he would fix the Steelers offense using the Justin Fields package. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, Pittsburgh Steelers legend Big Ben, he went on his podcast Football with Ben after this week's game against the Cleveland Browns, just like he has done every single week that the Pittsburgh Steelers have played, to kind of just recap in the game, going over the offense, going over the struggles, the good points in the game, and everything like that. And this week, after the terrible week against the Cleveland Browns, in which his offense was not able to get going, he had some questions about just the basics of the Steelers' offense and the decisions that Mike Tomlin has made as an offense in general, and also gave his points on Justin Fields and how the Steelers could utilize him. So let's go over the questions he has for this Pittsburgh Steelers offense before his advice for the team. So looking at what he said, these are the list of questions he has. So just going back to the basics, the wonder of the call on fourth downs and some of the decisions that Coach Tomlin has made. For example, choosing to have Justin Fields in the game on fourth down instead of Russell Wilson with kind of the game on the line, and having a guy who didn't throw the ball all game just air it out for 50 yards down the field and have a one-on-one opportunity with George Pickens. Is that the reason why you put him in the game? And that's the reason why you took the shot, to have that one-on-one opportunity with George Pickens? Kind of just the questions he has on the decisions that Mike Tomlin has made. Also, some of the decisions like the Justin Fields package. And it's kind of just like, it can't just be every third down and every short down that he puts in Justin Fields. And the utilization of him. Are you going to put him in the game on longer downs, on first down, or are you just going to wait until it's 3rd and 3 or 4th down in which you put Justin Fields out there, in which the defense knows what's coming? Or are you going to utilize him in a better way? Another critical question he has for Mike Tomlin is, why not just punt the ball on 4th down? The Pittsburgh Steelers offense is struggling. The Cleveland Browns offense is struggling. Why not rely on your good defense, in which is one of the best in the league? Why not rely on them to flip field position and give you a better opportunity kind of a little bit later in the game, instead of going for it on a 4th down in which the defense of the Cleveland Browns knows what's coming? Do you ever just consider punting the ball and flipping the field, especially in a game in which it's snowing and the weather is not good? Also, he questions the fact that Mike Tomlin kicked a 58-yard field goal with Chris Boswell, even though that Chris Boswell's best kicker in the NFL right now. You look at it, and it's just not a good opportunity for Chris Boswell, and it looked like everything was rushed. Big Ben said that it looked like the field goal was called at the last second, that they didn't know what they wanted to do, and that's why with the play clock and the game clock running down, and he ended up getting the snap off at 1 second, it looked like Chris Boswell was rushed on the field goal. It kind of looked like he wasn't ready for it. The team didn't know what was going to happen, if they're going to go for it, punt the ball, or kick the field goal, and then he missed it. So just kind of being in a better position in terms of field position and doing the right things and making the right decisions. Those are his questions for Mike Tomlin on the decision making of the team. He also has some questions based on the players, like George Pickens. Why is he trying to fight a guy all the way up the field? Is he trying to draw a penalty on the Hail Mary? What's he trying to do? It's just not the right call in that situation, because he's your best playmaker and you want him going up for the catch in the Hail Mary in the back of the end zone, because he has the best chance of pulling it down. So he just has some questions for the Steelers offense, but he's also giving some advice on how to use Justin Fields. And this is what he had to say about using Justin Fields and kind of the package surrounding him and his advice for the team. He said, and I quote, "To me, it needs to be used. It's not every time you have a 3rd and short, there still needs to be a package. It's 5 to 7 plays. I thought Justin, his big 30-yard run was kind of a game changer. It kind of brought new life and gave us opportunity. You ask Justin to throw the ball late in the game when he hasn't thrown the ball in a while. Maybe that's a call he made. I don't know. It has to be used kind of sparingly. He has to be used at the right time. You know, situational football. The nice thing is that when you use Justin a little bit at quarterback it now forces you as a defense for an opposing team to focus and spend a little time and a little bit at practice on it. So he continued on later, and he was talking about where he would line Justin Fields up. And this is what he had to say about that. He said, and I quote once again, "I would like to see him line up at wide receiver a couple times. Put him in at different spots on the field. Because what that does, even if you don't do anything with it, again, anytime you can make an opponent spend 5 minutes on something they may never seen before, it takes them away from preparing for what they will see." End quote. So, just looking at that comment in specific, for me personally, lining Justin Fields up at wide receiver, it doesn't make sense to throw him the ball. It doesn't. But I understand what he's saying in terms of lining him up at different positions and maybe one of them being a wide receiver. You know, some of the times we see two quarterbacks on the field at one time. It could be, for example, when Taysom Hill's in the game, and just say the quarterback is lined up on the outside just to be a distraction, just to be out there. He's not blocking, he's not doing anything. That's something you could do with having Russell Wilson and Justin Fields on the field at the same time. You can have Russell Wilson in the game with Justin Fields in the game and do something and kind of make a defense think for a moment, hey, is it going to be a reverse? Are they going to hand the ball off to Justin Fields? Are they going to pitch it back to Russell Wilson and have him throw it with Justin Fields catching the snap? Is there going to be something different? It kind of could just throw off a defense, even if you don't end up utilizing it. Even if you don't utilize the player that's on the field lined up at wide receiver, just having someone think, hey, they could be utilized in this play, we have to be wary about it. It could open the field up for just say a yard or two in terms of running extra and running up the middle wide open. So just utilizing him in that certain area, it makes sense what Big Ben is saying. Also, it makes sense what he's saying in terms of having Justin Fields on the field for more downs and not just the short downs, because if there's always the short downs that he's in on and he's always running the ball and the play call is always a run up the middle or a play action off of it, then you kind of get used to what Justin Fields packages and you know what it is. But if you're actually doing different things with them, it's not always the same thing on short downs, then it becomes actually a question mark for the defense and what Justin Fields is going to be bringing into the game when he's in the game. But if it's always the same thing, then you could game plan for it. So that's Big Ben's advice. Use Justin Fields in different packages, use him in different areas, and maybe line him up on the outside and distract a team here and there, and also make them have to practice against it and come up with different things, even if it's not utilized right away. So anyway, that's Big Ben's thought on the Steelers offense, just basically getting back to the basics, and also his thoughts on how to fix the Justin Fields package. And just to touch on the George Pickens thing one more time, because I never really got into what Big Ben said. He gave some advice to George Pickens, because after the game, George Pickens was talking about the weather and how it affected this game, how the Browns aren't a good team, and Big Ben basically said this, hey, even though the Browns are not a good team, even though the weather did play a part in this game and us losing, you have to let other people bring it up. It's not a good look when someone on the team brings it up. You're supposed to win that game basically either way. So let other people bring it up and make that excuse for you. Don't make that excuse for yourself. Also, he also touched on it saying how he doesn't understand why George Pickens didn't even try on that play. He doesn't want to say he gave up on it, but he really never was even in it to begin with. So he couldn't give up on the play. That's his thoughts on it. So kind of don't fight your guy all the way into the route, into the back of the end zone. Go up and make the play. You're the best player on the field for a reason. So actually make a play on the ball. So Big Ben, he dropped his thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers and the state of them right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the state of the Steelers and what Mike Tomlin kind of decisions that Big Ben is questioning. Is it true? Is it not true? Should he be questioning it? And also his thoughts on George Pickens and the Justin Fields package. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis reports, everything surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers, I cover it. So if you want to stay tuned to the channel, especially watching and listening to Pittsburgh Steelers news and not reading it, this is the spot for you because I cover everything, even rumors. So with that being said, that's it for me on this one. And until the next video tomorrow, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.